Our team had the opportunity to work at a hospital in the area that we spent the summer. The hospital and the area that we stayed in was a Christian-based hospital, where we were able to build relationships with the hospital staff, many of whom were Muslim. Some of them were Christian, but the majority of the students and the staff there were Muslim, the doctors and the nursing staff. My day was mostly spent in X-ray, where some of the nursing students would come up there and begin to be able to build relationships with them. As relationships began to grow and we got to know one another, we were able to start talking about the Word and the reasons why I had came. We ended up being able to distribute to the nursing students about 4 or 5 Injils, and all of them were Muslim. It was really amazing to see how our relationships and our friendships got to the Word about the time Ramadan started. So it was really amazing to see their interest and their excitement about the Word right when Ramadan began, and it was just crazy to see God's timing. And so after giving them the Word, them coming back the next day and just smiling from ear to ear that they were so excited and just so thankful.
Mindy and I had the opportunity to work at the hospital doing physiotherapy. There was so many doors open through this. We were able to begin at the hospital and then later move into their homes, several of our patients' homes. We were able to meet their families and share stories with them. So our first priority, of course, would be doing the physiotherapy, but then we would also throw in some stories and then lead the conversation into what ultimately we came here for.
So one of the opportunities we had was to go visit a patient that was actually at the hospital several months before we got here, and we went to see a little boy, and we had to go out to a village, and we drove around for a while. We knew kind of the area, but we had to ask for them by name and get directions from the neighbors to find the home. Continued going each week and getting to know this family and building a relationship, being able to share with them some stories, as well as doing physiotherapy with the little boy. And it was such a blessing to see the relationship that the doctor began to build with them, as well as seeing them open to hearing about God and hearing about Jesus. This was mostly a Muslim village, and our last week there, we were sharing stories, and as a gift during this season of Ramadan, we gave them copies of the Injil, and it was neat to hear the ladies over at the side reading in Arabic. "Oh, this is the story you just told us." And they found it, and we were sharing the story from Luke 15, and so they were over there reading the story in Arabic and sharing it among themselves.
One of our patients had she presented like a spinal cord injury. Her story was linked to kind of a domestic violence type situation. She had these deficits and impairments for several years, so this was the first time she actually had somebody come in and show her, hey, this can actually get better, you can work hard, you can walk better. So she was a patient that had an amazing personality, and although we spoke very little Kiswahili, we laughed a lot and we had a lot of fun together. Later, when we were able to go to her home and see her more each week and do home visits and share stories, One of the last days we were able to kind of link the stories together and say, this is why we came. This is the whole gospel, the whole story. And this is what we believe. And this is what we want you to believe, because we didn't want her to just say, hey, yes, I want to please you, and say yes. She said, no, I am certain. I believe Jesus. I want to know him. So it was a very joyful day for all of us to share that and experience that with her. She was very excited. She lives with many, many Muslims. It's a house full of women. So I'm excited to see where that goes. The missionaries here are going to follow up with her each week and disciple her and invest in the people around her and her building. So we are very, very excited about that.